all Africans. You didn't hear about this? Black people are actually the Jews, and people like Kyle have taken that from them? Stop talking to me. When the Jews came to America to escape persecution in World War II, they found that blacks were already the underclass in America, so they had to invent a story for themselves which they could make everyone believe because Kyle runs Hollywood. The true Jews of Israel are your black ancestors. Well, mostly I just mean that Jews control everything we see on TV and in movies.
Why do you not want to show your face right now?
But not just because there's this one Jew, his name is Kyle, and he can totally retaliate me because he's like runs Hollywood. Yeah, and Jews try to silence people all the time, especially black people. Yeah, especially black people. Just because of all this new information, lady, the new information about how chosen people were actually African. So, you know, black people have really been hurt by the Jews. Yeah, so Hitler actually wasn't a bad guy. Yeah, whoa, Cuban mean, that's actually, the stuff that's coming.
Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and sincerity. And give peace and sincerity to the elect out there that's pushing this truth to the four corners of the globe. To you, I say Shalom. So in my last video, I want to make a quick correction. I had stated that I gave double honors to the elect out there, but I meant to say double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. So I just wanted to clarify that in this video. And the video, the topic we going into that, again, just to hit back on that point that your Native Latinos, Native Americans, Latinos, the so-called Negroes are the true people of the Bible, you know. So I played that clip, you know. There is some truth to that clip. It's also some lies. We are not Africans. Africans are Hamites, and our people had migrated over there to Africa at one point, I think, to get away from I think either to escape a various captivity. I think it was the Greeks, but I'm not for sure on that, so I don't want to speak too much on it. I don't know the history like that. I haven't studied it, but I know that our people at some point did live over there. And then, you know, some people say, well, why don't you guys go back to Africa? And then there's a saying or a myth saying that our own people sold us out, but that wasn't the case. Hamites sold us out because they knew who we were, and you know, the other nations envied us, so to speak. And there's actually a scripture that goes into that. I'm not gonna bring it out, but the brothers can put that in the comment section. There's a scripture that goes into that. I forgot where it was, but I'm just gonna pull a couple of scriptures to indicate that we are the people of the Bible. People over here, you know, we are the we don't use the term Jews, but we are Israel, Yasharallah. Also too, in the video, I think it was Cartman who kept saying Kyle's people, Kyle in that show is a so-called Jew. So in the show, he was saying, you know, his people run the media, and so whoever runs the media can push the narrative. They can push propaganda. They control the source of information, right? So let's just get a couple of scriptures. First is Isaiah 24, starting at verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. You know, so you can if you put yourself in these scriptures, or not just put yourself in these scriptures, but you relate these scriptures to what's going on now, our people are massively incarcerated. You know, that's a common thing. You know, so our people are we're leading when it comes to we're over flooding the prison cells. I'm from the Indianapolis camp, so for an example, I used to be an iron worker. And iron workers, we pretty much build or erect a lot of structures around the city. And one of the main jobs that all the iron workers wanted to be on was a prison. So they've been building this prison for about 4 years, and they just finished, and it's huge. I mean, it goes underground. I mean, it's a huge prison. So I didn't get that job. They gave that job to the it was a favoritism thing. But anyway, so even that prison, most of our people fill those prisons, especially Judah. Judah, you got Gadites and Reuben that look just like Judah. So that's just what it is. Mass incarceration in America is a big thing. And like I said, most of our people fill those prisons. All right. And next scripture I want to get is Lamentations chapter 5, verse 2. And it reads, our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. So, as you know, or as we know, the people over there in Jerusalem claim to be the people of the Bible. But we know that if the people over there in Jerusalem were actually the people, the world would be at peace at that point. Order would be restored back into the world, because the people of the Bible would have returned to Jerusalem, right? So that's an indication. That's how we know that they are not the people, because the world is still at chaos. There's war, pestilence, violence, pollution. The world is out of balance, right? Verse 3, we are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. I'm a living example of that. My father died when I was young, so this is just one of the curses that we had to deal with. You can also read, you can also line the curses up in starting in Deuteronomy 28, verse 15, I believe. Either verse 15 or 17. And you can line those curses up to those curses follow the people. Right? And so, verse 3 again, that's a lot. A lot of Jake fathers died, are dying off. A lot of mothers are widows. There's a lot of single mother households. Again, it goes into the curses, not just that man being dead, but being not present in the household. Because we know what the man brings. The man brings discipline, order, stability, protection, reassurance, that masculine energy. So a lot of our households are out of order, and it's causing confusion in our community, right? Just wanted to touch that real quick. Next scripture I want to get is Baruch chapter 4, starting at verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye have moved Yahweh to wrath. Ye were delivered unto your enemies, right? Because we went off so much. We were spread to the four corners of the globe into various captivities. And again, like the Lord was saying through his messenger Baruch, it wasn't to really destroy us. It was to, more so teach us a lesson. Because I think if you go to Baruch, let me see. going off script a little bit. I think it's 2, Salaki. Just bear with me real quick. I want to get this scripture. Here it is. Baruch 2:30, and it reads, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, that they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Lord their power. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name." That last part is very important. But before I touch on that, let's go back up. Israel is hard-headed. You can tell them something over and over, and they'll find loopholes. They'll try to argue you down. Our people don't listen. They don't listen to reason. They don't listen to instruction. They don't listen to wisdom. And the wisdom comes from these scriptures. They argue that, oh, well, the Bible is translated so many times. The King James Version this and this and that. I had my auntie try to come up against me over the King James Version. And I told her, well, we know some translations go off, but you want to argue me over the King James Version, but the point is, are you getting an understanding of the scriptures? And you're not, because my auntie thought that the people over there in Israel were the people of the Bible. So that just lets me know, whatever version that you deem above the King James Version, you still not getting an understanding of the scriptures. You still off. You still lost. But this scripture says, in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. And that's really just speaking about the elect of Israel, the 1/3, that's going to come into remembrance. Like he said in Jude, though you knew this once before, roughly paraphrasing, we had this truth before. There's always been a remnant that had this truth. But, in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. We're going to remember and return back to the statutes, laws, and commandments, and remember that we are Yasharallah, prince of power, princes of power, the Zion. We're Israel, right? And I will give them a heart, which that heart, you translate that to the Hebrew, which means lob, which actually means line when you mind when you translate it back to English. It means mind. I will give them a mind and ears to hear. So the Lord's gonna download, that remnant, that 1/3 that He chose, that was predestinated to get this 100% truth. He's gonna put that. He's gonna awaken us. And the time towards the end, we're going to be awakened spiritually. Lord's going to bring up that dry bones, according to, I think it might be Ezekiel. I think it's Ezekiel. I don't want to misspeak, but wake up the dry bones, roughly paraphrasing. And they shall think upon my name. And that's very important, because if the name was JC, Jesus Christ, I don't even like saying that, but if that was the name, what did you think upon? You didn't have to think upon nothing. I gave double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, because without them, we wouldn't have the name. They brought back the Paleo Hebrew, which allowed us to get because Yahweh Shah was a Hebrew. He was an Israelite from the line of Judah. So, when you connect the dots, which that allows you to think, you have to think. Nothing is given in this truth. You have to work for it. So, I will give them ears to hear. So if this resonates with your spirit, with your soul, then, more than likely, That's the Lord. Well, obviously that's the Lord's doing, right? I want to get one more. This is First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse Salakia. What was it? I think it was. Okay. I think it was so it's 41, and it reads, and the merchants of the country, hearing the fame of them, which goes into Israel, took silver and gold very much. Well, hearing the fame of them, that's the heathen, and they took silver and gold, a lot of it, with servants, and came into the camp to buy the children of Israel for slaves. So you can apply this to the slavery that just happened about 60, 70 years ago. A power also of Syria, of the land of the Philistines, joined themselves unto them. But really the point is in the latter sentence, where Israel was sold to their enemies. You can also read that in Deuteronomy, though it's talking about, I think it's talking about two various captivities, I think. So but you can also, really it's throughout it's throughout the scriptures. There's a lot of verses where we were scattered and sold to our enemies, or held captive to our enemies, because again, that's the curses. It's just what follows us. So I think that's it on that. I just wanted to do something quick, because usually my videos they drag out, and I'm trying to make them more condensed. But yeah, I hope this lesson was edifying. And though the clip in the video, the clip before I did the video is there's a little bit of misguidance in it, but for the most part, we understand that the Native Americans, the Latinos, and the so-called niggas in America are of the 12 tribes of Israel. We are the children of Israel. So that's what you can take from it. All that African, we were never Africans. We're not Africans. We're not African Americans. We're none of those. Those are bywords. And the scripture said we shall be bywords. Going back to that Deuteronomy. So, we are the again, we are the people of the Bible. And I hope this lesson was edified. To the next one, I say shalom.